everyone. Happy Sunday. It's a blessing to be alive today. So we thank God for blessing us to be here on this platform. So this is Phoebe's Place. My name is Phoebe. And hold on just one moment. I'm going to, because we want to share this to everyone. Okay. All right. So we can share now. You can share now on your platform. So we are here to talk about COVID and the after effect of COVID. I want to do this because I was affected by it in December, and I was very did not know a lot about it. So I'm experiencing it as I go. So, but first, I just want to give asking everyone to pray for a friend of mine's. A lot of people knew her, which is Jillian Baskerville. She lost her life, her and her mother, yesterday. So we're asking that you would pray for that family. Um, I got her earrings on. She gave me last week. I buy clothes from her. She was an amazing person. So you guys just please wrap your arms around the family and friends because life is precious. So let's love and treat each other like we want to be treated. Okay, and as Christ said, love as He loved us. So okay, so we're going to introduce. We have Dr. Sydney Orokunle.
Yes,
Did I say
you
it
got it
right?
right.
Yay! So we're going to have her to introduce herself, and Prophetess Tiana Rice is going to introduce herself, and we're going to open up the platform for the conversation.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Sister Phoebe Wells and Prophetess Tana. I'm just so grateful to be on this platform with you all to discuss the after effects of COVID. And it's definitely a discussion that needs to be had, with other women. So I'm very
Mhm.
grateful. I'm a physician, family medicine at Kaiser in Sacramento. And I have my husband and two kids, Samuel and Cavadell, 2 and 3 years old. So, very busy mom. And yeah, so excited to be here on today.
Awesome. Prophetess Rice.
My name is Prophetess Tiona Rice, and I am currently the founder of my ministry, which is Gospel Explosion Ministries, which is GEMS, and I am in the process of transitioning over from prophetess to apostle elect. So I thank God for
Mm.
that. In about a week, I will be affirmed apostle. So I am a COVID survivor, and I thank God for that. So, and that's who I am. Oh yeah, and I
Thank
got
you.
4 kids. I got 4 kids. They're all grown, and I have 3 that's grown and 1 that's 11. So I am pretty busy because I do own a daycare. That's what you guys see. I'm actually in my office at the daycare, and I also own a
Wow.
boutique. So that's a little bit about me.
Okay, so y'all listen. Ladies, we have a doctor married with kids, and we have a woman who has 4 children and a daycare. Prophetess Rice. So listen, there's no excuse. Okay, do what you were called to do. Press through it. So we want to talk about COVID. So let me tell you my experience. I did not know I had COVID. I thought I just had the flu and was rushed. My husband took me to emergency, and when I got there, we thought it was my heart. So the doctor immediately, admitted me. So they transported me to a hospital, and we're going through this, and I'm thinking, yeah, I have my heart is acting up. Well, come to find out, the doctor said, you know what, Phoebe, something is going on with your chest area because I took an X-ray. So he said, I'm going to order a COVID test. I said, oh, well, I have a flu. Why? So I ended up taking the COVID test. Had a fit because they had to transport me to the COVID floor. And when I got admitted, I was all in like a dungeon. The COVID, you know how they created that COVID room for the patients. So
Mm.
I was terrified. I was scared, praying. And when they took me to the first floor, where nothing but COVID patients were, I was just like, I called my insurance company. I need to walk out of here. I don't have COVID. Well, lo and behold, that night I found out I had COVID pneumonia, and my scenario started from there. So what happened to me was they had to provide some medication for me. Well, hey, Lauren, here she is. Lauren was checking up on me, and I had a fit. I was like, I'm not going to take this medication. Number one, lack of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't understand everything about it. I'm thinking, you guys are trying to kill me. I was going through that whole scenario. And Lauren was talking to Tiana, Prophetess Rice, and she was saying that let me put us on three. Well, I said, Lauren, no, I just, I got all this stuff going on. So lo and behold, we got on the freeway, and Prophetess Rice just calmly began to talk to me because she experienced the same thing in a more, she'll tell her story about that. So she was able to walk me through this. And she said, Phoebe, take it. It's for your good. So I ended up taking it, and thank God, because I went home, I think 2 days after that. But I thank God for her and Lauren, who just came in. God allowed them to come in and just, overshadow me with wisdom, prayer. So I'm grateful, and that's how I met Prophetess Rice. I'm grateful for that. So, Dr. Sydney, I'm gonna call you Dr. Sydney.
Yeah.
Okay, help us. What's going on? Because it seems like COVID is running rapid right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Help us out with that. What's going on?
Yeah, so we're definitely seeing a surge. Yeah, we're definitely seeing a surge with COVID, with the Omicron variant. We're seeing a lot of people testing positive for COVID despite their vaccination status.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, despite their vaccination status, a lot of hospitalization. I've seen even young people in their 30s
Wow.
unable to get off the mechanical ventilator and pass away
Wow.
from COVID, the complications of COVID. And so, where I've seen people wean off the ventilator and downgrade to the floor, but below the ICU, and do
Mm-hmm.
well. And so, but I've been seeing definitely an increase in COVID cases. And so, I encourage people to, get vaccinated, 6 feet distance, quarantine if they need to,
Wow.
um, all of that, because I've definitely been seeing an increase in the amount of COVID cases, and then the hospitalization and the complications of COVID. And
Mm.
so you really have to just build up your immunity, build up your immune system, protect yourself, try to, as much as you can, social distance, not much traveling if you don't have to,
Mm-hmm.
in order to decrease the transmission.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
And before we even go into the talking about the after effect, um, Prophetess Tiana, can you share with us your story about what happened to you when you tested positive?
I think that I'm not a type of person that's like out all the time. So, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
very conscious of a lot of things. Like I believe in the whole washing of the hands and the face mask. And my family would tell you, they'd be like, okay, she has OCD. But I did something that was very, very foolish on my part. I had a baby in my daycare, and she was showing all the signs of COVID. So I sent her home. She came, she
Mm.
had like a fever. Her parents was like kind of irresponsible because they kept saying, "Oh, well, we took her to the doctor, and the doctor's just saying it's an ear infection or whatever." I said, "Well, she needs to stay out for a day." And
Wow.
come to find out, she had the nose, throat, ear stuff going on, whatever that is, doctor. But what can be in a child will mutate different in an adult. That's what my doctor told me. So whatever
Okay.
she had, which was that ear, nose, throat thing, when I got it, it went a whole different way inside of me. I'm not a sick
Wow.
person, none of that. But I felt like it was kind of like a little bit of foolishness on my part to even let her come back 2 days later. I should have just let it wait, because when I got her back the second day, she wasn't showing any signs until it was nap time. It started over again. So I ended
Wow.
up getting it. And when I went to the doctor, at first I was just like sitting it out. I was like, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go, because I don't know where people get this from. Don't go to the hospital. That is the first place you need to go, because
Mm.
the longer you wait, the worse it gets. So I kept waiting. I started getting the fever. And then my son came, and I'm like, you have to wear a mask. He's like, I don't care about a mask. He ended up getting it from me. And when I got it, I was so sick. When I say so, I couldn't breathe. Like I got in the car and I'm like, I gotta go now because it's getting to a point where I can't breathe. Like I've never been in front of a fan and just couldn't get no air, you know. So I got in the car, my daughter-in-law got me there, and they was like, well, we need to, check her oxygen. My oxygen was all the way down to like 80. The lady was like, this is way too low. Like, how are you even standing up? That's how bad it was. So finally they kept testing me and it kept coming back negative. So I'm thinking like, well, I don't have COVID. Because y'all know the first thing we think is like, this be a cold, it could be the flu,
Yeah.
But finally I had to embrace it. Something serious was going on with me. Because anytime you could be in front of an air conditioner, in front of a fan, and you still can't breathe, there's a problem there.
Yeah.
So they tested me, it still kept coming negative. So the tech said, well, we want to do an x-ray to see what's really going on. And that's when they told me I had COVID, but I was pretty much over it because I had waited so long, but it ended up setting up in my lungs. So I ended up having COVID pneumonia, which was, I think that's the worst COVID you could ever have because it's attacking your lungs. So after that, they admitted me. I was nervous. I was scared. I went up to the death floor because that's what I call it. That's what it feels like.
It does.
So I began to have an encounter with God. I'm like, Lord, I know there's been many ministers, many bishops that have died. But I was like, I speak life over myself. I had to really get it in my brain that I will not die over this disease. I had to cover it, So they kept asking me about the remdesivir. And they kept saying, well, if you take that, you'll die. Or if you don't take it, you'll die. So I'm in the hospital like, okay, well, if I'm gonna die either way, give it to me, So finally, after I read the directions of the remdesivir, and for those of you that don't know, remdesivir is a very strong antibiotic that fights COVID. It's one of the strongest antibiotics that they give. And the doctor told me, he was like, well, you need 20 bags. And at the time, I'm like, 20 bags? Is it that serious? But I thank God that after I finished my 12th bag, I was able to actually my oxygen started getting back where it was. The lungs started clearing up, but I was very foolish at first because I was like, well, I just believe God and I'm not taking no remdesivir. I got God. Anybody know me, know that I'm a faith talker. They know that I love God. I live God. I eat, breathe, sleep God. But we have to use wisdom when we have doctors that God has given us.
Amen.
He's doctors to save our life. And we don't really want to listen. But I thank God that at the time I did use wisdom. I did sign for the medication. And I think, I know that's why I'm living today because of that medicine, getting me where, along with the help of God.
Amen. And that was the one that you had to help me with because I was just like, no, Now, Dr. Sydney, do you run upon that? Like, are you getting a lot of people coming into your office that is testing positive and they're just not wanting the care or anything like that? Are you experiencing that? And if so, what can we do as patients to really like help get us through this season?
Yeah. Well, first of all, in the clinic, if you're displaying any symptoms, they see you at the door. They see you at the front door. You're not even coming inside the clinic. If you, because they have a questionnaire, a pre-clinic questionnaire that you have to complete, and you have to answer those questions. If you have fever, cough, runny nose, GI symptoms, nausea, if you answer yes to any of them, they're testing you. You can't even come into the clinic in order to decrease the exposure to everyone else in the clinic. And so, but the amount of positive test results that I'm receiving in my file and the results that come back to me have increased. And so we are seeing an increase in COVID, even with the vaccinated or the unvaccinated. But some of the things that I do recommend for patients is to definitely build up their immunity, build up their immune system, vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry. These are things that they can do. Get vaccinated. Um, uh, Even just, taking their medications for high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol. If you're obese, start exercising, eating right, eating healthy. Because what I'm seeing is, COVID tends to attack a lot of people, with underlying comorbidities, underlying conditions. And those are typically the patients that will succumb to the complications of COVID, get hospitalized and end up on a mechanical ventilator. I had a
Mm.
patient in her late 30s, and she has so many comorbidities. I think BMI of almost 40, 50, morbidly obese, lupus, type 2 diabetic, hypertensive, high cholesterol. Was hospitalized for about a month, ended up on the mechanical ventilator and could not get weaned off of the mechanical ventilator, ended up dying. I think she was
Wow.
like 39. And so so these are the things that I'm seeing.
Okay, when you say mechanical ventilator, what exactly does that mean? Um, is it automatically helping the patient to breathe or?
Right. So when you first go into the hospital, I'm sorry, hold on. Yeah. When you first are when you first go to the hospital, if your oxygen saturation is less than 95, if it's 80, they're going to put you on supplemental oxygen. If you cannot tolerate that, if you cannot breathe on your own, or breathe with supplemental oxygen, then you may need assistance. And so what they'll do is they'll upgrade you to the ICU and then place you on a mechanical ventilator, which is a tube down your throat to help you breathe. And so
Mm.
it's called an intubation. So they'll intubate you and put a tube down your throat, and then the machine is breathing for you, and the machine is helping you breathe. And so and it's connected to a machine that is actually doing the breathing for you. In order to be weaned off the ventilator, they want to see if you can breathe on your own. And in order to stay on the mechanical ventilator, you also have to be sedated. So they will also sedate you and mechanical ventilate you.
Wow.
And so, and a lot of times you can't eat while you're on the mechanical ventilator. So they will even attach an IV. So you're getting intravenous nutrition through the IV as well while you're on the mechanical ventilator, and then you're sedated as well. And the ventilator is breathing for you, is doing all of the inhale and exhalation of breathing, because you cannot breathe on your own. And some of the indications to be placed on the mechanical ventilator would be COVID pneumonia, congestive heart failure, aspiration pneumonia, like a foreign body aspiration, like you're unable to breathe on your own, so you need assistance.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Um, so for me,
Mhm.
after I came through this, I thank God I didn't have the breathing issue. I was able to breathe, which is
Mhm.
why the doctor kept thinking that I had the vaccine, and I kept saying no. He said, "Well, you're breathing real good," and I'm thinking to myself, "Yeah, but I don't feel good." But after I came home, um, and I never really lost taste, so I was still able to do that. But now I have to have fruit. I My whole body is different.
Mhm.
I do realize when I'm tired, like my body, the fatigue sets in.
Mhm.
Is that normal? Because I have a lot of after effects from COVID. Why is that?
Yeah, so they're still doing a lot of research on that, but some of the after effects of COVID that they've been seeing is chronic fatigue syndrome,
Mm.
nausea, vomiting, brain fog, and it's called long haul COVID, post COVID, post COVID symptoms, and or long haulers. These are so, complications, or things that you experience after you've been infected, or um, uh, you have recovered from COVID. And so, yeah, so brain fog, you can have, some mild memory loss, trouble breathing, chest pain, chronic fatigue, pain syndrome. So having, muscle aches, but there's a lot of that, that we still don't know, that we're still trying to, figure out. But these are some of the things that I've been seeing in the clinic, that people have been coming to me who have recovered from COVID,
Uh-huh.
explaining, brain fog, I'm, becoming more forgetful, or, feeling fatigue all over, muscle
Yes.
aches, low energy, not having much energy to do anything. And so muscle aches and difficulty breathing, have to be on an inhaler. And so
Mm-hmm.
these are the things that I'm seeing
Yeah.
post-COVID.
Okay, Prophetess Tiana, what is your experience being after
Um,
COVID?
Mine after, because I was on oxygen. I wasn't on the ventilator, but
Mm-hmm.
I was on oxygen while I was in the hospital. And I noticed, like, at towards the end, when I got ready to go home and everything, I was trying to remember stuff. I was like, wait a minute, like, what really happened? And it really do affect
Mm-hmm.
your memory. When I came home, I tried to, like, walk up the stairs, because, oh, okay, I'm better, I tested
Mm-hmm.
negative, I feel better. Excuse me. I'm still yet a little weak, but I tried to, like, walk up the stairs, and as soon as I got, like, excuse me, to the top of the stairs, I was, like, out of breath. And I started
Mm.
panicking. I was like, oh my God, I got to go back. I can't breathe again. But those are, like, the after effects. And then I would notice, like, um, when I was asleep, I would still have that, like, I was just trying to figure out how to breathe again.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
it lasted me all of maybe I think maybe about a good month.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. Now I can relate. And now I'm experienced at nighttime when I go to sleep, um, struggle a little bit. When I'm really, really sleep, I don't know if I stop breathing and I jump up choking. I'm not sure what's going on, but I am experiencing that as well now. Um, so they're just basically doing more research to find out, because I know it affects everyone different, to find out why are we having these after effects.
Yeah.
And a question, how long does COVID resides in your body? You can still test negative, but how long does it stay?
Yeah. So after you've tested positive, you can still, um, the the remnant of the COVID can stay in your body for up to 90 days
Yeah.
after you've tested. So you
Mhm.
can still have a positive test 90 days, after, within 90 days. And so I tell my patients, you don't have to test again with a PCR. As long as you've quarantined for the 10 days, now they're saying CDC guidelines have changed, and now they're saying 5 days, and you can, get back to it. But I just still, if it's, if you don't have a home antigen test, just, 10 days. And then you can be released from quarantine if you don't have any fevers, if your cough is better, if your symptoms are better. You don't have to test, because the PCR will likely become positive and remain positive within 90 days.
And the doctor told me the same thing. Don't get a test until
Yeah.
after 90 days. But a lot of people are. They're getting tested and
Mhm.
saying, okay, so it's negative, and they're just running right back out to the
Mhm.
world doing what they're doing.
Mhm.
Um, that concerns me when you I just think, because we just think, oh, it's over and that's it. There are people getting it again. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Getting a second wave of COVID again. And I just think that that's bad for our lungs. I know that you spoke about vitamin C.
Yes.
Um, and zinc. Did you
Yes,
mention?
so all of these help build up your immunity. It's really important. Vitamin C, taking almost up, 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams every day.
Ooh.
Vitamin C is in oranges. You can take vitamin C, like tablet or over the counter vitamin C. Vitamin D is also really good. Vitamin D is to help build up, prevent osteoporosis, is for bone health. Zinc is also anti inflammatory, it's an immune builder.
Mm.
Elderberry, a lot of people are, doing the over the counter elderberry because that contains zinc and vitamin C as well. I would even encourage ginger and
Mm.
garlic. Very good. Garlic is really good for cardiovascular health, for immunity.
Mm. Okay.
Ginger, the same. It helps build up your immune system. Turmeric is really good for arthritis and also anti inflammatory. And so these are things that you can do to help build up your immunity because vaccinated or not, I'm seeing if your immune system is good, if you're at a normal BMI, no comorbidities, no heart, cardiovascular disease, no congestive heart failure, diabetes, hypertension, then you're in really good shape. There was a study that showed that obese vaccinated patients vaccinated for the flu are two times more likely to get the flu than those who are also vaccinated for the flu but who are not obese.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
just having a good immune system and exercising, getting enough sleep, um, also helps build up your immune system. So I would really encourage, vitamin C, vitamin B complex, vitamin D, elderberry, zinc, ginger, all of that.
Wow.
Exercise daily, eat healthy,
Okay.
plant-based diet,
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Wait, did you say plant based?
Yes, I said plant-based.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that. The plant based.
But I
But
agree
I
with the doctor because that's
okay.
that stuff that she's saying. Um,
Uh-huh.
I had to kind of like do that on my own. I mean, even though my doctor was telling me, but
Uh-huh.
I was just like, well, I'll be okay or whatever. But I noticed when I started taking all of that, and getting my body right because I'm a fitly girl, but I wasn't healthy. Just because you
Okay.
have a nice body and a nice figure, that does
Yeah.
not mean that you're healthy. I had to start eating healthy. Because I eat whatever I want to eat because I'm not
Uh-huh.
like considered quote unquote overweight. But excuse me, it's not good to just eat whatever. I had to start cutting out restaurant food. And this may not have anything to do with what we're talking about, but I think it do. We
Yeah.
have to be careful with what we consume out of different places because people are sick
Mm.
cooking our food. And we don't realize
True.
it. We want stuff so quick and so microwave. Like, oh my God, I want some French fries. I want to go over here. And you're eating, and you half of the stuff we're eating, we're not supposed to be eating anyway. But then we got people that's sick that's cooking it. Some people don't know that they're walking around with COVID because they are asymptomatic or whatever they call it. So some
Uh-huh.
people don't know that they just feeling like, oh, I'm just sweating or I just don't feel good. And so we have to really be careful. We need to really consider what goes in our mouth because that's what defiles us. What this right here,
Yeah.
it's so prone to say, well, it doesn't matter. I'll eat 2 cheeseburgers. Okay, and I'll get on the treadmill and work it off. That's not necessarily a good thing because you can get on the treadmill and burn off some calories because you ate 4 cheeseburgers. We need to really consider the turmeric, all that type of stuff, and the intake of the greens. And that makes a difference with our immune system to fight against this virus
Mhm.
because we can't do it by ourselves. We just can't.
Mhm.
So true. I have zinc and I have a friend of mine, Carletta told me about bronchial formula. It's by Nature's Sunshine. It's for your respiratory. So it helps cleans out your lungs. uh, I just didn't realize what it does. But it gets right in there, and I'm thinking I'm okay. No, I still have stuff in there that
Mhm.
is trying to pull out. So you guys are absolutely right. So
Mhm.
we really need to start looking into some vitamins. I do need to exercise because I'm the one or the overweight. I'm the overweight girl. So I do need to look into exercising, but I noticed that I cannot do without fruit. I cannot go without day. And I never really ate fruit like that. But now I eat fruit. I have to eat fruit with my food 3 times a day,
Mhm.
like 3 or 4 times a day. I realize that And I don't know if this happens to you, and I'm always dehydrated. I drink so much water.
Mhm.
Why is that, Dr. Sydney?
Well, I don't know the correlation between drinking water and the post COVID effects, but I do encourage it. I do encourage up to 8 to 9 glasses of water every day to help with dehydration. Because when you're dehydrated, you can become fatigued, lightheaded, dizzy, palpitations,
So true.
anemic. So it's really important that you stay well hydrated, you drink plenty of fluids, because believe it or not, a lot of times we go to food, but we're not really hungry. We're actually thirsty. If we
True.
first go to
Yes.
drinking water, a lot
True.
of times we think that, oh, okay, I need some chicken, or I need something, I'm hungry. No, it's actually you're thirsty. You're dehydrated. So drinking plenty of fluids, keeping yourself well hydrated is good for your health. It's good for your skin, reduces acne. It just helps overall build, it builds up your immunity, getting plenty of rest. And I agree with the prophetess. It's really important that you eat healthy. Eat healthy is really important. And I encourage my patients only eating out once a week outside the home.
Wow.
Most of your cooking should be in house.
Okay.
Most of your cooking should be in house, because outside the home, it's a lot of processed foods, a lot of salt, a
Mhm.
lot of fat. And so, cooking in house is really, because everybody is very quick, right? Grubhub,
Yes.
Yelp,
Uber
this
Eats.
and that, and or Uber Eats, everything is delivered straight to your doorstep, and it's not good. It's not good. And we're becoming like a popcorn society, and it's really leading to our demise. I mean, our health is wealth. I'm telling you, health is wealth. If you invest in your health, man, you don't need money for medications, you don't need money for medical insurance, you don't need money for all of this hospital bills, honestly.
That's true. That is really true. So you said something powerful. So okay, y'all, we need to cook at home.
Yeah. And the water thing, Phoebe, just so you know,
Uh-huh.
the reason why you're so dehydrated, when my
Uh-huh.
doctor explained to me, he said that once that I got through the COVID and everything, that he wanted me to drink at least 8 to 10 glasses of water a day, because it helps replenish everything that was diminished because of the COVID. Because
Wow.
COVID really takes a toll on our body. It does
It
things that we
does.
don't even know. So the water
Man.
to flush out. And sometimes that's why you feel like that, because you've already been so fatigued, like the doctor said. And when you're fatigued and when you're tired and when you're sick, water is the best regimen besides whatever your doctor may say that you need in that, situation. But my doctor told me, he was like, he said, set an alarm on your clock. Try to drink the water before you eat your food, because you know what, like she said, we really don't be hungry. If you know
No.
that you're really, really hungry, if you drink water with your food and before you even start your food, you can never really finish your whole plate, because it's the water. It's the water that our body needs. Our
Yeah.
body can actually survive off water more
Than
than it can
food.
food. Like seriously,
Yes.
if you're in
Yes.
the
You're true.
wilderness and you can't find any food, if you got water, you will survive, because that's
Uh-huh.
what our body needs. It needs that water. So that's why you feel dehydrated and all of that type of stuff after your experience with COVID, especially with COVID pneumonia, because
Woo.
you need that water to flush through your organs and get you back where you need to be. So that's why you're drinking that much water.
Yes. And thank Sydney, my manager's on here, and Lauren and Sophia. This is really good because I'm taking some things as well. Um, I do need to cook more. I go to Subway. So I eat that, but still, like you said, that's not good because you know people have their hands on it and they don't know that they're sick. So you're absolutely correct. We have to buckle down and cook at home, no matter how we feel about it. I'm just glad that because that fatigue thing has me bad because once it hits, I'm no
Yes,
longer good.
yeah, you can't.
I'm yeah. So should I replace that? It will build when I exercise more.
Well, You're gonna, yeah, because if you notice when you exercise, the doctor will tell you when you exercise. That's why they say
Mhm.
it's kind of not good to exercise at night before you go to bed because your adrenaline is up.
Okay.
You're
Adrenaline.
pumped
Oh, okay,
because
okay, okay,
you're
got
moving
it.
the muscles. You're getting the body in tune. So that's
Uh-huh.
why it's really not good to really go to the gym before you lay down and go to sleep because your body is all over the place by then. So a lot of people and a lot of health professionals and
Uh-huh.
gymnasts, they always tell you it's always good to hit the gym before work. Like if you have enough
Mhm.
time before work and early in the morning when you hit the gym because it gets the body pumping, it loosens up it make you get what you need and you don't be tired. It's gonna make you go all the way through. That's why it's not really good to take vitamins before you go to sleep because it's
Mhm.
something about the vitamin that gets the body pumping and get the body going. So
Mhm.
you're gonna get over that though, Phoebe, because you just really got over the COVID. So you still
Yeah.
have a couple of things that, a little bumps in the road, but
Mhm.
we thank God that you are better. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
God.
So
Yes.
you have
Yes.
to understand, and I hope many people take this from this live, not just from
Yes.
me, but this doctor. She's saying everything that's right. We
Mhm.
have to stop and we have to think, what do I need to do to stay healthy?
Yes.
What do I need to do? And one of the main things we have to do to stay healthy, we have to remember to stop eating everything come past our face. We eat it. That's not good.
So
It's not
true.
good. So we
Mhm.
have to remember that. Drink our water and make sure we do our social distancing. Some people may
Yeah.
get offended or whatever. I don't care if you're offended that I don't want to get sick.
Right.
It's okay. Do your distancing, make sure you washing your hands all day. I have a habit now of washing my hands all day. They're a little rough. I don't care if I meet a husband, he gonna have to understand these rough because I need to wash them 24/7, not just because
Right.
they're there, but for health reasons.
Right.
A doctor
Eh,
told me this is where COVID come from. He said, because
uh-huh.
we touch everything, we pick up our food, we eat it. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful. Really.
Right. Sydney, and I thank God you're still with us. Praise God. Yes, that you made it through COVID. If you're having some symptoms, let me know. Put in this comment so the doctor and we can talk about it. But and I don't know, Dr. Sydney, you may not be able to answer this right head on,
Mhm.
but some people after they come after COVID, they have they have to have oxygen.
Mhm.
Where is that coming from? Is it because the lungs was too infected? Um, because you know where is that coming from? I know a lot of people that's on oxygen and that need to have it. I know someone um at my job who has to have it when she sleeps. She's
Mhm.
okay in the day, but when she sleeps, she has to have the oxygen because she completely stops breathing.
Mhm. Well, that comes from even before you're discharged from the hospital, they will test you and walk you around the unit to see if you even qualify for oxygen. And so,
That's
not
true.
everybody qualifies for oxygen. If they walk you and test you around the hospital and your oxygen saturation is 95 and above, you don't need it. But if it's 88 and below and you're walking and you're ambulating and they cannot wean you off the oxygen, let's say you're on 2.5 liters and they can't wean you off by the time you're going to be discharged home, they will send you with 2.5 liters going home.
Uh-huh.
And you will need that to go home using it both day and night. And so but what I'm seeing is people who, congestive heart failure, COPD, asthma, these are people who, when they've tested for oxygen, they've needed oxygen going home.
Mm.
And so,
Okay.
and it helps, with breathing. It helps, with their lungs and inhalation, exhalation. And so, yeah, sometimes people need oxygen, and then a lot of times too, people also need to be tested for sleep apnea, to see if
Okay.
they may benefit from like a CPAP machine. That's also a breathing machine people use at night to help them breathe.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Now, Prophetess Tiana, do you have problems breathing at
No,
night or anything?
not anymore. But when I talked to my doctor about it, about because I told you it lasted for about a good 2 months. He said that a lot of people, because I wanted the oxygen, I was scared to go home without it. But he was like, a lot of people. I was one of the first patients that he had this year that he let go without the oxygen. So that was a
Wow.
blessing. But
Yes.
a lot of times when people need the oxygen, it's from the lung fibrosis. That's what I had to remember. I had to Google it. He was saying that sometimes that may be a problem with people needing, more oxygen or oxygen when they get home. Sometimes your lungs, my lungs may not be as strong as your lungs. Your lungs might not be as strong
Right.
as mine going home. I might have
Right.
to put up all of the cold and the mucus out of my lungs through the remdesivir, depending on how much you take. You know what I'm saying? Some
Yes.
people, I had a friend of mine who they offered the remdesivir, Dr. Sydney, and my friend said no, and my friend ended up passing away, and they was just like,
Ooh.
they just could took the remdesivir to clear it up. Some
Mhm.
people don't understand, and I think that knowledge is key. And I think that if you go to the emergency room or if you're admitted, you need to ask questions. And then if you don't understand, because we all don't understand medical
Mm-mm.
terminology, ask questions. I don't, me and my doctor is like this. Me and Dr. Ryan, we talk, and then when he says stuff, I'll be like, okay, wait, what that mean? And then he laughs like, you ask so many questions, you should be a doctor. I'm like, no, I need to know. Like the same way in ministry, when people don't understand something that I'm teaching or that I'm preaching about, I want them to ask me, well, okay, well, why did you say this and what does this mean? Because when
Mm-hmm.
you get an understanding of what is going on, it's so much better. You're not going to bed saying, okay, what is lung fibrosis? Like you don't have to think about it. Just ask. Because if the
Yeah.
doctor is saying it to you, evidently they know what they're talking about. They just may need to break it down in layman terms to say, you know what? Remdesivir is nothing but a strong antibiotic. It'll help you like this. The reason why it's saying that you may die is because of this. But the chances of you dying are very slim because we really don't have people that just die from remdesivir. You understand? But we don't ask questions. We just be like, okay, oh no, I'm not going to do that because we don't understand. But
Yes.
knowledge is key. So this is your body. This is my body. This is my temple. So
Yes.
I'm going to do everything I can to make it right and to say,
Right.
doctor, help me. Like Dr. Sydney, I need to know, what does this mean? And
Yeah.
no matter how many times I have to ask Dr. Sydney that, she's my doctor. She has to explain
Right.
it to me and keep explaining it to me until I get it, until I know.
Right.
Because once she helps me know, guess what? She's technically saving my life because she's like, okay, now she understands that she needs to do this because of this, because I had to explain it this way. So don't be
Right.
afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. There's no question too dumb when it comes to medical.
So
It's not a,
true.
I don't know.
And no,
Sydney.
I agree. I
Oh,
agree.
go ahead.
Yeah, ask questions. Come to your appointments with questions. Have a list of things that you want to talk about because, I mean, the doctor is going from patient to patient very quickly. So you have to get your answers. Your questions answered. And so come with questions. A lot of doctors will answer your questions in layman's terms. If you don't understand, ask. What does that mean? What does
Yeah.
this mean? How can I be treated? How can I do better?
Mm-hmm.
Have a list of questions. What's the next step? How can I prevent it? What are some of the complications? And because knowledge is power.
Yes.
Once you're knowledgeable, I mean, you are empowered and you feel like you're taking ownership of your health.
Yes.
And it's just not someone else. It's you have that ownership and you're taking back that ownership. And so it's really important to come with questions and ask those important questions.
And that's what I didn't used to do. Sydney, do you have complications or effects after you had COVID? And 2, 7, and 9 are getting it? My God. Had chills. So for children,
Hmm.
Dr. Sydney,
Hmm.
w- uh, are there certain vitamins for them? I know they have the little vitamin C's for kids.
Yeah.
What can they take if you know um, to help them with their immune system?
Right. They have a lot of over-the-counter medications. They can take vitamin C. They can take a multivitamin, like the Flintstone multivitamin. They can take that as well. But again, the washing of the hands, wearing a mask, if if they can, as much as possible. Just building up. When kids have cough, you can also give honey and lemon. It's really good, a honey lemon mixture. And then because honey coats the back of the throat and helps with any nocturnal cough. And so they can take that and take it around the clock if you feel like they have any runny nose, any cough, cold, congestion. They can also take Vicks Vapor Rub. You can apply that. And yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know a lot of parents are concerned with their kids, and
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of kids are getting it just as much as the adults right
Right.
now. Um, okay, he said it seems like I still haven't recovered from the fatigue. And how long has it been, Sydney? So is that fatigue? It just depends. Let me ask this. Should we be exercising on our respiratory system, running, jogging, walking to build our lung capacity back up?
Yes, yes. I like how you said that, building up your lung capacity, exercising, running, jogging, walking. These are all ways to help expanding the lungs, breathing, inhalation, exhalation. These are all ways to build up your lungs and make them stronger.
Okay.
Because, like you said, lung fibrosis is scarring of the lungs post COVID.
Mm,
Fibrosis means scarring. And so, so these are some of the after effects of COVID. And so you have to build your lungs back up. And not saying sedentary. When you say sedentary, your lungs are not working. When you say stay still, your lungs are not working. It's when you're exercising, it's when you're moving. That's
okay.
why even after surgery, they don't like you in bed all day. They want you to get moving, right? They want you to walk, right?
Yeah,
They
true.
want you to get out of bed in order to exercise your lungs so you don't end up with aspiration pneumonia.
It's been 3 weeks since my positive test. Okay. All right.
Yeah, she's still, but Sydney is basically still in the beginning stages.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
she's
he is.
still going to feel that fatigue, because it's almost like the beginning. Um,
Okay.
so she's probably gonna. My advice to Sydney is, basically, like the doctor said, start pumping yourself with your vitamins. I think that the green stuff is very good. The spinach, the leafy stuff, to give you that little bit of boost and that energy.
Mhm.
It's in the
Mhm.
greens, and
Mhm.
I only learned all of this stuff. I have two of my sisters are nurses. One of them worked for an animal hospital, but they're very knowledgeable. I was the only sister that went the other way to be an entrepreneur. They're in the system, the medical system, so they know. Some things you may want to stay away from, Sydney, right now is the different dairy products and the milk. Just kind of
Mm.
get yourself to that either water, 100% juices, the teas, but that all of that milk and that excuse me, and the dairy products is really not good with the stage where you are with COVID, because you need to try to keep everything clear.
Mhm.
And that mucus, when it
Yeah.
builds, oh my God, it's nothing nice at all. So,
And
I mean,
I would,
that's my advice. I'm not a doctor, maybe Dr. Sydney, no, but I think that dairy stuff, you probably need to move away from that and
yeah.
try that
Mhm.
green and fruit, and so it can rebuild you.
And I agree with Prophetess Rice because milk produces a lot of mucus, right? So a lot of mucus buildup. And so a lot of dairy products. So I would steer away from that and more juicing with natural fruits. So I like to juice like every day. So with like, you can add, a bunch of like kale, spinach, you can add flaxseed, chia seeds, that's fiber. And then add your pineapple, fruits, banana, make it tasty. And it's very delicious, and you can use that as a meal replacement. You can use that in the morning, for breakfast, or
It's
supplement for
true.
lunch or dinner. But you get all your essential vitamins, you're getting your iron. I see a lot of even African American women iron deficient,
Yeah.
leading into
Mm.
uterine fibroids, anemia, all of this. So green leafy vegetables, a lot of collard greens, increase your iron intake.
Yeah.
Okay.
So taking your greens, and if you don't eat it, then juice it, and add some pineapples, mango, make it very tasty, and it's very delicious and very healthy.
Yes, yes.
That is true because I do eat salad. I go to the store. They're probably thinking, "What is this lady?" I get salads, fruits. I am just sold on that now. My husband talking about what about sweets? No, sweetie,
No.
no sweet. Don't be coming for me. I do
One
have sweets,
cookie, one
but
cookie,
I have it. Don't be coming for me in the sweets
one
now.
cookie.
Listen, but that is so true. I drink black tea now, no unsweetened. So I do that and I love it. I absolutely love it. So listen, you guys take these advice and their comments because they really work. Those that do not have COVID, please, please be safe. Do what you can not to get it because you can't understand what someone is saying that have been through it. That
Yes,
fatigue is no joke. It
Mhm.
literally you have no control. It almost like it flattens you, and
yeah.
that's it. And you succumb to I need to lay
Mhm.
down. You know, but I like that. I'm going to start. Me and my husband is walking with me more, so I'm to build up my lung capacity because that's where the biggest the trial area is. And I want to do this before we get off. Sydney, Dr. Sydney, she does you have talk about your organization because I'm gonna play a little YouTube video after you talk about it, but talk to us about your organization and what you're doing.
Yes. So I'm actually no longer a part of it now, but when I
Okay.
was, yeah, but I want to get reconnected with them to see if I can even start a program like that in Sacramento. But when I was in Los Angeles, I was a part of a group called YPWW, actually, let me actually look it up here. But it
Young
was an
people,
organization,
willing workers.
huh?
Young people, willing workers, right?
No,
No.
why, or no, wait, hold on.
No problem. You know what I can do? Let me get the
Pull it up,
video.
pull it
Yeah, let
up.
me get the video ready because this is so
No,
powerful. I love what she's doing, helping our young ladies. So let's watch.
so
Sister to Sister is a powerful forum where pre medical students, trainees, and early career physicians are mentored by ABWP physicians who assist them in navigating through the challenging process of becoming a physician in the 21st century.
There has to be a passion to overcome all of the obstacles that people are trying to put in front of you.
Aspiring physicians learn how to prepare for medical school and job interviews, as well as participate in workshops that address important work life balance issues.
I get the most joy out of the Sister to Sister program, having mentees, having them contact me with different issues, and there are many, many different issues that they have to deal with, and to seeing success with them finding solutions.
To fulfill one of our goals in our mission statement, and that is to lift as we climb. You make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give.
So it cut off. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
um,
okay. But yeah, so it's Association of Black Women Physicians, amazing program.
mhm,
Very good. When I was in Los Angeles, sister to sister mentorship, monthly meetings, encouraging meetings. And it's people from all over, all different walks of life, right? So pre-medical students, medical students, attending physicians, and all Black women encouraging each other. And
mhm.
I'm telling you, if you are in Los Angeles and you're pre-med, um, get involved with this association of Black women physicians. Amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So y'all hear that? So what do you have? So listen. Also, you work for Kaiser, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. If anyone would like to, because you're an MD, am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
So give your information, please.
Yes. So if anyone would like to contact me, my email is Sydney Orokunle, SydneyOrokunle @gmail.com. And you can also find my MD profile online at Kaiser.org. And you just type in my doctor and you can find my profile there. But yeah, if you have any additional questions or concerns, let me know. You can email me, and I'll get back to you. And I love to mentor, any pre-medical students. I love to, mentor, get them in medical school, help them in residency, help them choose a field. I actually have one of my mentors. She just graduated UCLA and got accepted into the
Wow.
UC Davis pre-med program, and now she's applying to medical school right now.
Wow. Congratulations to
Yeah.
her. You're awesome, Dr. Sydney. You are totally awesome. I
Thank
love, 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 love you.
you.
So you know I'm gonna invite you back. Prophetess Tiana, what do you have coming up?
Um, I have my affirmation coming up. Excuse me. I'm so excited about that. It was dust like flying in this room. I thought I was about to die in here. I don't got COVID. It was just
Right.
dust everywhere. But anyway, I'm about to have my affirmation. I'm very excited about what God is doing in my life. Um, to be affirmed apostle is a great calling. That is like one of the
Yeah, it
highest
is.
positions, and I thank God that they elected me. I guess it's something I'm doing right.
No
But that's
guess.
what I have going on. I do have my women's ministry. Gospel Explosion Ministries is my ministry. My daughter is a spinoff of my ministry, which is she has gyms as well, but hers is GEM and it's Jesus Exploding Millennials. So it's the younger crowd. And then my son has his part of gyms, which is like the gym that you work in. But
Mhm.
they're generals evolving in ministry, something like that. But we're all one group. But
Okay.
we're out here just loving the people of God, helping the people of God, not judging anybody, helping people understand who they are.
Uh-huh.
I do talk like a lot in my ministry about health, because I believe
Mm.
that God wants us to be healthy. He said, "He
Yes.
wished above all things that we may prosper, even our soul." He wants us to be in good health. Like I wouldn't want to serve a God that didn't want me to be healthy. We
Right.
sometimes get the wrong concept, and I'll end with this. A lot of church people and religious people believe that it's okay to be sick because God will heal you and God is with. I don't, but I'm so against that. I
Mhm.
refuse to serve a God that wants me sick or that would allow me to be sick. Now, don't
Mhm.
get me wrong. Sometimes we do things, self-inflicted things that we have to see a doctor, Sydney, to get us right. But that's why God gave us Dr. Sydney, for us to make,
Yes.
because he wants us to be healthy. He wants us
Yes.
to be whole. It is his
Mhm.
desire that we be healthy and whole. God don't want to see us all the time here and say, "Oh God, heal my back, Lord, heal my leg. Oh my God, my lungs." No.
We
So
have to take care of ourselves.
my thing is we
Mhm.
need to be healthy, whole, and complete. Whether you save, whether you not save, that's my motto. Healthy, whole, and complete.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Y'all
And
pray for me though, because I'm nervous.
you know what? And that if you weren't human, nerves is good because it lets you know that you're depending on God to do what he needs to do. And I thank you, ladies. This have really helped me, and I know it's helped everyone else. um Sydney, you asked a question I just want to address. It caught, that's what our testimony was. It caught us off guard,
Yeah.
but I went out more than what I did last year, the year before last, and last year. So for me, I lifted my little reins of staying in. So that's my fault of what I did. So I take full responsibility of that. Um, Oh, okay. He said, "You guys are amazing." Thank you, Sydney. And we thank you, our guests, for joining in. It has been very informative for me as well. I mean, I thank you. I thank you, Lady Sydney. I'm praying that God covers you because I know you're going to be out. You have to be out with the patients, and I'm praying that God will keep you safe, you and your family. Thank you for what you do for patients. And I like what Apostle elect Tiana said. Respect the doctors. She went to school for years just to have the knowledge to learn. And you guys, at the same time, she saved. Okay. She she got both connected going on. So when the doctors are telling us to do something, let's do it and
Yeah.
respect them. So that's why I really respect you and what you're doing. And I'm always bring her back because she's She's so informational. She helps us. And elect Apostle elect Tiana, we pray many, many blessings upon your
Thank you
ministry,
so much.
and we pray that it flourishes. Thank you, everyone. It's been an hour. It's been fun. It's been real. You all have a blessed Sunday and stay safe. All right. Love
All right.
y'all. Bye
Bye.
bye. Hold on, ladies.